This video is about the alpha carried her home but his pack called her a traitor. If this story captivates you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. The moon hung low in the night sky, its silver light dripping the ancient woods like a shimmering veil. Tall pines swayed gently in the breeze, their whispered secrets punctuated by the distant howl of the pack. Within the heart of this secluded forest, a primal bond throbbed in the air, a bond that tethered the wolves to their territory and each other. Alina, a soft-spoken omega, stood at the edge of the clearing, her heart pounding. Her chestnut curls framed her face, catching the moonlight as she watched her pack with longing. They were family, bound by blood and loyalty. But tonight felt different, a churning tempest raged within her. "Why must we hide our love?" she murmured, glancing at the towering figure beside her. Kaelin, the revered alpha of the Silver Moon Pack, exuded strength and warmth. His golden eyes shone with determination, but they were clouded by the weight of their situation. "It is not just about us, Alina." His voice was deep, laced with an intensity that sent shivers down her spine. "My pack sees you as a traitor. They cannot know of our bond." A wave of despair washed over her. "But I am not a traitor. I have always been loyal to our kind." Her voice cracked, the pain of rejection slicing through her. "How could we be destined for each other when the world wanted let us be?" Kaelin stepped closer, his breath warm against her skin. "Sometimes, destiny has a cruel sense of humor." His fingers brushed her arm lightly, igniting a spark that traveled through her veins. "But we cannot deny what we feel." Alina looked away, tears brimming in her eyes. Their love was a forbidden melody, a haunting tune that played only for them. She had lost so much to circumstances beyond her control. The weight of her past pressed heavily on her shoulders. What if they never accept us? His jaw clenched, the muscles in his jaw tightening. "Then we'll all fight for it. We'll show them that love transcends fear." The fire in his declaration ignited a flicker of hope in her heart. As the moon reached its zenith, the pack's howls echoed through the woods, calling them to the gathering. Shadows danced around them, a reminder of the decisions they'd have to make. "We can't let them know about us," she whispered, her eyes pleading. "They won't have to know if we keep it hidden a little longer." Kaelin's expression softened, a blend of sadness and resolve. "But I can't hide how I feel about you. It is too strong." Alina sighed, her heart heavy with the reality of their situation. The bond between them felt ethereal, an unbreakable string that pulled them together despite the world's judgment. What if I leave the pack and death?" The word burst from his lips, filled with urgency. "Don't even think about it. You belong here, with us, with me." The desperation in his voice made her heart ache. "I want to let you sacrifice your place for a future that may never come." She nodded slowly, but doubt lingered. The whispers of betrayal from the pack echoed in her mind. Those who had once embraced her now eyed her with suspicion, convinced of her disloyalty for loving their alpha. "They want to forgive me," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "I will make them see you for who you truly are." Kaelin took her hands in his touch grounding her. "You are not just an omega, you are my mate. That means everything." But Alina felt the chasm of their worlds widen, a rift filled with uncertainty. "And if they reject you for loving me?" she asked, anxiety coiling in her stomach like a serpent. He kept his gaze steady, unyielding. "Then I'll face them, and I'll find strength in his mate. I will not abandon you, Alina." The promise hung in the air, heavy yet fragile. Just then, a distraction broke their moment, rustling leaves and a dark figure emerging from the shadows. It was Lyra, Kaelin's second in command, her eyes flashing with suspicion. "Alpha," she said curtly, the tension palpable. "The pack is waiting. They sense something is amiss." Alina's breath quickened. Lyra's presence was a reminder of the stakes they faced. "We should go," she urged, the weight of her heart pressing down on her. Kaelin hesitated, his grip tightening around her fingers. "Stay close to me. I want to let them harm you." With that, they stepped into the clearing together, another world unfolding before them. The pack circled around a crackling bonfire, their howls resonating in harmony. But in the warmth of the firelight, a chill settled in Alina's heart. "Where have you been?" growled Bran, the pack's enforcer, eyes narrowing at Alina. "You've strayed too far from your duties." Alina straightened, her pulse racing. "I was just gathering herbs." "Lies," Lyra interjected, crossing her arms. "You were with the Alpha. We've seen your betrayals." The members of the pack grew louder, and Alina felt the weight of their gazes, thick with judgment and disdain. "I am still one of you. I love our kind," she pleaded, but her words fell on deaf ears. "Love?" Bran scoffed. "You've turned your back on us for a man who will never choose you over his pack." Enough. Kaelin's voice boomed, silencing the crowd. Alina is not a traitor. She has fought for this pack. She is my mate, and I will not stand by while you tarnish her name. Tension crackled in the air, thick enough to slice. The pack shifted uneasily, surprised by Kaelin's declaration. But Alina's heart sank, knowing the battle had only begun. Their eyes were fierce. You can be serious, Kaelin. You would choose her over your own blood. I choose love, he declared, standing tall with unwavering resolve. I let fear dictate our fate. Alina deserves your respect. As the flames flickered, casting shadows on their faces, Alina felt the weight of their scrutiny. She knew this was only the beginning. A battle loomed ahead, not just for their love, but for her very place in the pack. Your love may be strong, but the pack's loyalty lies with each other, Lyra warned, her voice colder than the wind. If you forsake us for her, you will face the consequences. Alina's heart raced, the truth of her situation washing over her like a wave. She had become a symbol of their fears, the embodiment of their insecurities. But she was also a beacon of hope. She turned to Kaelin, their eyes locking in a moment of unspoken understanding. We'll all face this together, she vowed softly, her heart swelling with unyielding determination. As the night grew colder, their love flickered in the darkness, fragile yet powerful. Beneath the weight of rejection and betrayal, the bond between them grew stronger, forged in the fires of adversity. And though they stood on the precipice of chaos, one thing was clear, their destiny had only just begun. The crackling embers of the bonfire illuminated the tension-stricken faces of the pack, and the weight of their collective judgment pressed down on Alina like a storm cloud. As Kaelin's fierce glare cut through the murmurs of dissent, she could feel the thrumming connection between them, a bond forged in fires of adversity. But the path ahead was fraught with peril. I won't let this stand, Bran growled, stepping forward, his muscular frame taut with barely contained fury. You think love can outweigh loyalty? You think she deserves to be your mate? Alina flinched at the venom in his tone, her heart aching for acceptance, for understanding that felt so far out of reach. I've done everything for this pack, she implored, her voice trembling but firm. I've always fought for us, for our kind. Lyra stepped beside Bran, her expression hardening. You fought for us, Alina, or did you just fight for Kaelin's affection? You were a traitor, and no amount of sweet words can change that. The word cut like a knife, and for a moment, doubt flickered in Alina's heart. Would she forever be viewed as an outsider, a threat to the very family she had cherished? Kaelin's presence steadied her, grounding her amidst the chaos. No, he said, his voice slow but powerful. Alina is my mate, and I will not stand by while you tarnish her name. She has shown loyalty and strength, qualities we should celebrate, not condemn. Mate? Lyra scoffed, disbelief etched on her features. You truly believe that loving her makes her worthy of your title? Your bloodline is at stake, Kaelin. Alina saw the turmoil in his golden eyes, a flicker of uncertainty hidden beneath the fierce resolve. He was the alpha, the leader of their pack, and yet here he stood, defiant in his love for her. Love that had become a battleground, a point of contention, rather than a solace. Those who truly understand the bond of mates know it goes beyond blood, Kaelin declared, stepping closer to her. He gently brushed a lock of hair behind her ear, the warmth of his touch igniting a spark of hope within her. Love is not a weakness, she added, her voice rising above the tension. It is our greatest strength. We can unite the pack, show them that our differences can bring us together instead of tearing us apart. Dreaming one, save you, Bran spat. Your very existence challenges the core of what we are. You were never meant to be with him. Alina's heart sank further, but she wasn't ready to give up. You think I wanted this, to be a pawn in this twisted game? Her voice trembled with emotion as she turned to face the pack. I never chose to fall in love with Kaelin. It just happened, as if destiny itself had intertwined our fates. A ripple of disbelief spread across the pack, and she could see the skepticism in their eyes. But there, amidst the crowd, she caught the gaze of a few wolves who held a flicker of understanding. They knew the pain of longing, of forbidden love, a bond that transcended the conventional rules of their nature. What if love could unite us? She asked, her heart pounding. What if we could build a future where we don't have to choose between loyalty to our pack and love? Kaelin's voice cut through the tension like a blade. You all need to understand that Alina is not a traitor. She is my mate, and I will take whatever steps necessary to protect her. Bran's eyes narrowed, his hostility palpable. You think you can protect her from us? We are your pack, your family. If you choose her, you choose a path of destruction. Alina's breath caught in her throat, the weight of the pack pressing against her. I love you all. I don't want to be your enemy, she pleaded, her gaze sweeping across their faces, desperate for understanding. But I want to let fear dictate who I love. Suddenly, from the fringes of the clearing, a voice broke through. What if we could find a way to coexist? Ayla, the gentle healer of the pack, stepped forward, her kind eyes full of compassion. What if their love could show us a new way? Lyra scoffed. This isn't a fairy tale, Ayla. We are wolves, bound by instinct. But we are also beings of choice. Ayla countered, her voice strong. We can learn from each other, adapt, become stronger together. If we close ourselves off, we will only weaken the pack. Alina felt a flicker of hope ignite within her. We can create a world where love and loyalty coexist. We can show the others that my bond with Kaelin doesn't threaten our family, it can strengthen it. But how? Bran challenged, crossing his arms, his stance unwavering. You think you can change centuries of tradition with a few passionate words? I know it won't be easy, Kaelin replied, his voice steady. But I am willing to fight for this love, for Alina. If it means facing my own pack, so be it. Fighting won't prove your worth, Kaelin, Lyra retorted, her jaw set. It will only lead to bloodshed and division. No, Alina interjected, her voice soft but fierce. Fighting isn't only about physical battles. It means standing up for what you believe in. It means showing your strength through love, not hate. As the fires crackled, the pack's whispers grew louder, a cacophony of emotions swirling in the night air. Alina took a deep breath, her chest swelling with courage as she stepped forward. I refuse to be a scapegoat. I refuse to let fear dictate my fate. Bran's eyes narrowed, and he stepped closer, towering over her. You think you can walk away from this? You're stepping into a battle you can win. No, I am stepping into a future I refuse to abandon, she replied, her voice unwavering as she met his gaze. I will not be ashamed of my love for Kaelin or of who I am. Then you will stand alone, Lyra hissed, her expression dark. You will be a briar among us, a reminder of our failure. But as Alina glanced back at Kaelin, she saw the fire in his eyes, a promise of unwavering support, of love that would not waver in the face of adversity. Together, we can change this, she whispered, her heart racing in anticipation. We will face whatever comes, side by side, he vowed, their fingers intertwining as if sealing their pact. I won't allow anyone to take you from me. Then let us fight, Alina said, her voice rising with newfound strength. Let us fight for love, for acceptance, and for a bond that transcends the boundaries of fear. The pack watched, their expressions a blend of skepticism and intrigue. For the first time, Alina felt a glimmer of hope that their love could be the catalyst for change. It wouldn't be easy, but they were bound by destiny, and no amount of fear or tradition could sever the string that tied them. Let us show them, Kaelin murmured, his breath warm against her ear. Let us show the world what true love can accomplish. As the moon hung high above, casting silver shadows across the clearing, Alina felt a gentle surge of magic stir within her. It was as if the very fabric of the universe was aligning in support of their union, weaving a tapestry of hope and resilience. With courage swelling in her soul, she turned back to the pack. Let us prove that love can conquer even the deepest divides. Let us be the change we wish to see. The night held its breath, and in that moment, under the watchful gaze of the moon, Alina understood that their fight was far from over. But she was ready to embrace whatever challenges lay ahead. Because love, she realized, was the most potent force of all, a force that could reshape destinies, heal wounds, and unite hearts that had once been torn apart. Part 3. The Reckoning of Hearts. The air around them crackled with a tension so thick it felt palpable as the pack watched with bated breath. The moonlight illuminated the clearing, casting an ethereal glow on the faces that were once friendly, now filled with suspicion and disdain. Alina stood resolute, gripping Kaelin's hand as if it were the lifeline tethering her to sanity. I refuse to be a pawn in this game any longer, she declared, her voice steady despite the storm of emotions swelling inside her. We are more than our roles in this pack, we are individuals deserving of love. Bran sneered, taking a step forward, his muscles coiled like a spring ready to snap. Individuals, you are a traitor, Alina. You think we'll change our ways just because you declare your love? You've brought shame upon our pack. Alina met his fierce gaze, refusing to back down. Shame. I've done nothing but serve our pack. I've healed, I've cared, and I've fought alongside you all. How can you say I bring shame for loving a man who happens to be an alpha? A murmur rippled through the pack, a flicker of uncertainty breaking the facade of loyalty that had been held so tightly. Kaelin stepped forward, his voice a low growl filled with authority. Alina is not a traitor, she is my mate, and I will not allow her to be judged for something as beautiful as love. beautiful? Lyra spat, her expression twisted with disbelief. Your love will lead to our downfall. A pact divided cannot stand. Then let us unite. Kaelan challenged, his voice rising with passion. Let us be the change, be the example of strength through love. We can show the world that love does not weaken us, it makes us stronger. Alina felt the power behind his words, a surge of hope washing over her. We can create a new legacy, she added, her voice ringing out with clarity. A legacy where love is seen as a bond of strength, not a weakness. Ayla, the healer who had spoken earlier, stepped forward again, her gentle presence a calming balm amid rising tempers. What if we held a council, a gathering where both sides can express their views? We can listen to each other rather than allowing fear to dictate our actions. Bran looked at Ayla, skepticism etched on his face. What is the point? They will only lie to us, just as they be lied about their intentions. But we can't allow fear to govern us, Bran, Ayla insisted, her voice firm yet soothing. If we close ourselves off, we risk losing everything we built together. This love could bring us renewal. Alina's heart raced at the flicker of hope igniting in the pack. We can forge a new path, one that honors our traditions while allowing for change, she urged. I ask for your trust, just as I've trusted this pack all my life. Lyra's expression remained hardened, but Alina saw a crack in her armor. It is not just about trust, Alina. It is about loyalty. Can you truly say you wouldn't choose your love over the pack if a choice had to be made? Tears stung Alina's eyes at the thought, but she stood her ground. I choose love, yes, but I also choose this pack. My heart belongs to both. There is room for both. Kaelan interlaced his fingers through hers, the warmth of his grip grounding her. We can be strong together. We can prove that love and loyalty are not mutually exclusive. We just need time to heal and to understand. A murmur of contemplation swept through the pack, and Alina felt a sense of unity begin to blossom in the air, fragile yet fierce. The council, she echoed, her voice gaining strength. Let us meet under the crescent moon, share our fears, and find a way forward together. We can heal these rifts. You think the mere act of talking will change centuries of tradition? Bran's voice was filled with warning. We've endured too long, we know the stakes. And yet we are here, aren't we? Kaelan shot back, his fierce gaze unwavering. We've survived countless battles together. Why would we falter now, in the face of love? Alina took a deep breath, channeling the courage that had ignited in her heart. Because love changes everything, she replied softly. It teaches us to grow, to adapt. Love is the magic that binds us all, the force that can heal these wounds. Lyra crossed her arms, uncertainty etching her brow. And if we choose to reject your proposal, what then? Then we fight, Kaelan answered, his voice a low growl. But I will not fight against my own. I will protect Alina with every breath I have, and if it means losing the pack, so be it. A chill swept through the air at his words, the pack-esque collective breath-hitching. Alina turned to Kaelan, feeling the weight of his declaration settle heavily between them. You would put everything at risk for me, she whispered, emotion swirling within her. His eyes softened, filled with the love that transcended words. Always, Alina, you are my heart, I will fight for us. But at what cost? She murmured, torn between the depths of their love and the looming threat of division. Together, we will face whatever comes, he vowed, the fire in his gaze reigniting her resolve. I will not let fear dictate our love, and neither should you. As the moonlight bathed them in a silver glow, Alina felt the weight of their decisions pressing in on her. The air shimmered with a magic that seemed to echo through the trees, a reminder of the destiny that intertwined their fates. For love, for unity, she declared, raising her voice with newfound strength. We will stand together. The pack fell silent, the tension thick with uncertainty, but the glimmer of hope ignited with each heartbeat. Let us meet at the crest of the hill, where the moonlight shines brighter, Ayla suggested, her voice a soothing balm. There, we will share our thoughts, our fears, and our hopes. Alina looked around, searching for understanding in the pack's eyes. Will you join us? Will you give us the chance to prove that love can heal? Bran hesitated, but the flicker of resolve in his gaze softened ever so slightly. I will come, he said slowly, the challenge still there but couched in tentative acceptance. But I will not yield easily. Nor should you, Kaelan replied, the bond of their respect palpable in the air. Understanding takes time, and I promise to fight for every wolf in this pack, for every heart, but we must begin somewhere. As the pack slowly began to disperse, Alina felt the weight of uncertainty lift. Together, they had forged a fragile bridge, one that could either lead to unity or further division. Kaelan turned to her, his expression a mixture of hope and determination. Whatever happens, we will face it together. Together, she echoed, their fingers entwined, grounding each other in the promise of what lay ahead. The night had been fraught with tension, but the spark of their love illuminated a path through the darkness. As they walked home, the Mina guiding them, Alina felt the pulse of destiny throbbing in her veins. This was only the beginning. The real challenge lay ahead, but together, they would fight for their love and the future of their pack. And as long as they had each other, hope flickered brightly in the night, a beacon of what love could achieve, a promise that transcended the boundaries of fear. *** Part 5 The Dawn of Reckoning ***. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of crimson and gold, Kaylan and Alina stood at the edge of the Silver Moon Pack's territory, their hearts heavy yet resolute. They could feel the weight of their decision to halt the council pushing down on them like a storm cloud, threatening to unleash chaos on the world. "It feels like the calm before the storm," Alina whispered, her voice barely above a hush. She searched Kaylan's face for reassurance, her fingers entwined with his, grounding her amidst the swelling emotions. Kaylan turned to her, his golden eyes reflecting the remnants of daylight. "Whatever comes, we'll face it together. You are my mate, and I will protect you." His tone was steady, infused with a fierce determination that ignited a flicker of hope within her. "I just wish they could see the love we share instead of viewing me as a burden," she murmured, her heart aching for acceptance from those she had once called family. "Every moment we fight is a moment I feel like an outsider. There is no shame in loving me, Alina, but I know how deeply you care for this pack. That is what makes you so special." Kaylan gently brushed a strand of hair behind her ear, his touch igniting a warmth that spread through her. "We'll show them that love can be our strength." Alina nodded, a surge of faith blossoming in her chest. "I hope they can see it too." She took a deep breath, readying herself to face what lay ahead. "We should head to the hill. The pack will be waiting." As they made their way through the woods, the air buzzed with anticipation. The moon rose high, illuminating the path before them, casting dappled shadows that danced around their feet. With each step, the bond between them deepened, a connection woven with destiny and magic. Upon reaching the crest of the hill, Alina's heart pounded. The pack was already gathered, their expressions a mix of skepticism and curiosity. She could feel the weight of their gazes, piercing and judgmental, and her chest tightened with anxiety. "Welcome," Kaylan began, his voice strong, reverberating through the stillness. "We gather here tonight not just as a pack, but as a family. Alina and I have sought this council to bring forth our love and to unite us in understanding." A murmur spread through the crowd, and Bran stepped forward, his expression hardened like granite. "You think that love can erase the doubts we have? You think that because you declare this bond, we'll simply forget what she has done?" Alina felt a fire ignite within her, the energy of the moment surging through her veins. "I have not done anything wrong. I've stood by this pack through thick and thin, and my love for Kaylan doesn't negate that." Her voice trembled with raw emotion, a blend of frustration and desperation. Lyra, still standing at Bran's side, crossed her arms, her brows furrowing with disdain. "The truth is, Alina, you have chosen to love someone who puts our pack at risk. You're a threat to our unity." "Love is not a threat." Alina shot back, her heart racing. "It is the very thing that can save us, if you only let go of your prejudices and see what this could mean for all of us." "Love can also blind and divide," Bran interrupted, his tone cold and unforgiving. "You may think you fight for us, but you are only fighting for your own desires, and those desires could lead to our destruction." Alina clenched her fists, her pulse quickening. "I am not asking you to accept me blindly. I am asking you to see beyond your fears. Together, we can forge a new path, one where love and loyalty can coexist." The tension in the air was thick, laden with doubt and uncertainty. Ayla stepped forward, her gentle presence calming, yet firm. "Alina speaks truth. We cannot allow fear to be our guiding force. What if their love could create a stronger bond among us, a new legacy?" "Legacy?" Lyra scoffed, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "We are wolves, Ayla. We have traditions for a reason." Alina turned to Ayla, her heart swelling with gratitude. "What if we held a vote, the chance for everyone to express their feelings openly? We need to let go of our anger and listen to each other." "I will not vote to accept the traitor," Bran growled, his voice deep with conviction. "You think a mere vote will change centuries of loyalty and tradition?" "It could if you allowed it to," Kaylan replied, his voice rising with authority. "We are standing at a crossroads. We can elect to narrow our hearts, or we can choose to expand them. Love can be transformative." The pack began to murmur, and Alina felt a flicker of hope igniting. "We can heal these wounds together. We can show that love is a bond that can unite, rather than divide. Will you join us in this?" Bran remained steadfast, but the tension in his gaze softened. I will not easily yield, Alina. You must prove your worthiness. Show me that this love is not a fleeting fantasy. Alina nodded, her heart racing with both fear and determination. I will show you. I will give everything to prove that love is worth fighting for. Then let us begin, Kaelan declared, his gaze unwavering. Let us share our fears, our hopes, and our dreams. Let us open our hearts to one another. As the night deepened, stories began to flow, tales of love lost and found, of betrayal and forgiveness. Alina shared her own journey, the struggles that had led her to Kaelan, and the love that blossomed amid the shadows of Third. I never wanted to cause harm to this pack, she confessed, her voice trembling with emotion. I just wanted to love and be loved, to belong. One by one, members of the pack began to share their own struggles, their fears of loss, of change, and how those fears had blinded them to the possibility of love. Ayla spoke of her own heartache, how she had lost someone dear and found solace in a pack. The night wore on, and with every shared story, the ice between them began to thaw. The walls that had once felt impenetrable began to crumble, revealing the vulnerability that lay beneath. Perhaps we have been too rigid, Lyra finally admitted, her voice softening. Perhaps we have let fear dictate our actions for too long, but change is not easy. Nothing worth fighting forever is, Kaelan replied, a fierce light in his eyes. But we can face it together, our strength lies in our unity. As the moon hung high above them, casting its silvery light upon their gathering, Alina felt a sense of hope rising within her. A bond was forming not just between her and Kaelan, but between every wolf present. They were beginning to understand the power of love, the magic that coursed through their shared existence. I will be your ally, Alina. Bran finally spoke, his voice steadier now, a hint of respect woven through his words. But you must prove that your love is stronger than the fear that has kept us apart. The pack nodded in agreement, and Alina's heart soared. She turned to Kaelan, their eyes locking in a moment of unspoken understanding. Together, they had forged a bridge, a chance at redemption for not just themselves, but for their entire pack. Together, we will face whatever comes, she vowed, her voice filled with a quiet strength. For love, for unity, and for a future we can build together. Kaelan stepped closer, enveloping her in his warm embrace. You are my heart, and I will always fight for you. We will show them the power of love. As the moonlight bathed them in its ethereal glow, the pack united, a tapestry of hearts interwoven with hope and resilience. The storm had passed, and in its wake, a new dawn began to break, a promise of healing, acceptance, and love that had the power to transcend even the deepest divides. And as they stood together beneath the shimmering stars, Alina knew that their journey was only beginning. But with Kaelan by her side and the pack beginning to embrace transformation, she felt the magic of destiny whispering through the leaves, a song of hope, love, and a future yet to be written.